Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot, supportive oracle cards, the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. The energy seems fun already, so I mean that's a good thing, right? Oh, that card for you guys. Do I like that? I think what's behind it. Ooh, okay, so you might have quite the There's an intuitive moment coming up. They're really highlighting it. So most Scorpios have some type of intuition, right? Even if you're a Scorpio that kind of like you feel like that eludes you, you might be heading to some type of psychic moment here. Because they're really highlighting that with 3 cards. They got Scrying, the Veil, and the Empress down here at the end. So, and the Empress can be a very psychic card. It depends what's going on with it. Like, I'm feeling like you're headed towards something. So again, even if you're one of those Scorpios who maybe you don't feel like you're very intuitive, it doesn't really happen, you might still be heading for a very psychic moment. I'm just really getting that. Starting off, you got the face down card. This came, okay, you got the Page of Cups. Something's going on. This is rare for Scorpio, in my opinion. You're okay with it. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like just getting hamburger and making plain hamburgers and putting some ketchup on them for dinner. It's okay. It doesn't knock your socks off, but it's fine. Kind of like suits the purpose. This is rare for Scorpio. Like, this situation is kind of like, need to eat, that's food, it'll work. It's just so plain that it's just kind of like, I don't think of Scorpio as plain. So I'm kind of like, it's taking me a minute to kind of like grasp this. Like, this is strange. I just feel like this isn't normal for Scorpio. I just feel like it's... But you're dealing with something else here where somebody else might be... That might be their speed. Alright, that makes more sense for me why you're doing this. This might be about somebody you care about, and that's more their speed. That's what they like. They like it very plain, very simple, good, but not too extravagant, whatever that means. Like, literally having for dinner, like, maybe 2 just plain hamburgers with ketchup on them. Like, woohoo, it's so exciting. Like, no bun, no toppings other than the ketchup. Like, that's literally it. Maybe some green beans, but it's like they're steamed on the side and maybe they were frozen. Like, it's really nothing super exciting. It's so just like it makes the grade, but it's not like you're not tripping over yourself to have this. You're not like, ooh, I can't wait to have that. It's not bad, though. But when I get the graveyard in the environment, somebody, like, for some reason, somebody is simplifying things because, it might be because they're overwhelmed. So by simplifying whatever the situation is, like, that's an analogy, obviously, the hamburger thing. By simplifying it down to that level, it brings down their stress level dramatically. That makes complete sense why you would do that to me now that I'm feeling it. Because if it's about somebody you love and they need to bring it down and things need to be calmer and that makes it easier for them, you're like, that's all we need to do then. That's okay. I feel like you might even propagate that or push that forward. Kind of like, we don't need to make this a big deal. We got hamburgers, we got green beans, here's some ketchup. That's enough. We don't have to make it a big deal. And I feel like you might be saying that because like somebody's like, maybe they just can't take anymore. Even though this is a simple situation, like making it simple might bring their energy down and calm them down a lot. You're like, that's all we need to do. That's fine. We'll just do just that. Now that makes complete sense to me why that's happening for you. Because definitely Scorpio takes care of people. They just do. And if it's for the betterment of somebody else, and you're like, no, they need to bring it down. So that's what we'll do. You're about that all day, all night. I'm really confident with that. Because you got eternal love. How did I not see that? Like, what this is bland, and you're letting it be bland because it's better for this other person. Like, yeah, they need to bring this down. So, like, even if it is food, and maybe that ketchup is like, low sodium ketchup, so it doesn't even have a lot of flavor. And maybe that it's like, instead of with the hamburgers, are actually turkey burgers, like lean meat, and like everything is bland, but you're like, yeah, but this is healthier for them. This brings their things back in line. This is better for them. Let's do it. Let's do that because you care, and you're like, this needs to happen. And if I do it with them, they're more likely to stay with it or do it the way they need to. Now this is interesting. See, I'm getting a lot of intuitive energy with you. Even if you're a Scorpio that doesn't usually have that, I'm telling you, this is one of those, if this is going to hit, you're going to have those inklings. You might even have some clairvoyant moments, which is maybe a peeve of mine. Like clairvoyance, like you see it with your eye. Intuitive happens in your brain. Usually. Like clairvoyance, you literally see things in front of you. Because like I've had clairvoyant moments where like I see something, other people don't see it, and then it disappears, and you're like, oh, okay. Like seeing apparitions or ghosts or just images or things in front of you. Like there's a building in front of you, and then it's not. And then you're like, what's that about? And then you find out because you were just about to go to that building. Like that's clairvoyance. I don't know. So you might have a vision like that. Like you see something and nobody else sees it. That type of clairvoyance. And it takes you a minute to like regain your composure. Like, what was that? Am I cracking? What's happening? Because I'm getting the ghost here, but it's very strange. Because I'm seeing like it feels to me. And I know not all of you are going to have a clairvoyant moment. I get that, but it's like you're very strongly connecting to something intuitively, and other people, like it's hard to explain to other people or hard to get other people to understand what you're feeling and what you're seeing. I'm getting like it feels like a very psychic moment to me, and I know these are general, so I'm trying not to be like too limiting on that, but like you're seeing it. For some of you, maybe it's intuitively and you're feeling it in your heart. Like I just know, like I know that this is going to happen. Like something's going to happen and you know what it is. Like you're like, this is going to happen and I know it. The ghost is telling me you're seeing something that other people are not. And it's hard to relate to other people when other people haven't seen it. You know what I mean? If you're in a group of people who've never seen a ghost before and you just saw one, it's hard to explain to people that what just happened, and even harder than that to get them to believe you that that's actually what happened. They'll give you all those excuses. It was probably the light shimmering, or maybe it was a piece of fabric, next to the window where the curtains, just the way the curtains move, you thought you saw something and you really didn't. Like that, you know how they do that? Because they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but they're trying to make sense of what you saw. They're trying to rationalize it. And you're like, no, I know what I saw. I know what it was. It was not that. It was literally a ghost. And they're like, well, I don't know if I believe in that. That's the type of difficulty you're having relate this. But you're also having the witch here. The witch is very powerful, a very positive card. You're trying to warn people because you know what's coming in. You know what's happening. You felt it. You saw it. Like, I know we have to take these with a grain of salt, but if this is hitting for you, if you're going down this road, it's like you saw something, you felt something, you know that something is coming in. And you're trying to help other people see it too. Kind of like, all right, we can do this. This bland situation, we're going to have to do something here. Because I see where this is going, and I see, like, even though we're okay. For example, maybe somebody has a very bland diet so that their heart doesn't have a problem, and you're seeing the heart problem come in. And you're like, I'm seeing it happen. We have to go to the doctor. We have to get a test because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. So, like, whatever it is, I feel like they're also giving you ample time. So if this is hitting, they are giving you ample time to fix it. So it's not like, you have to run out the door right this moment. You're getting ample time. I'm also getting that with the witch. Like, you have time to pull this together. Because typically the witch energy, I know what I want, and I got to gather my supplies, and I have to bring it together and create this energy and get this energy to flourish. So it's like there's a process of bringing it together. You have the time to do this. So you're getting the warning when this moment comes in. You have ample time to do something about it. Because I do see you will. That's not a shock at all, I don't think. How far do I have to go with that, really? Like, you get the inkling, you know you have to do something, you're going to do something. Like, I don't think that's shocking. Now, when you do this, it may take a bit of energy, again, because I feel like you see it and other people are like, I don't think so, Scorpio. And you're like, listen, I'm telling you. It's going to take a minute. Like, when I get the Knight of Pentacles coming in, that's like, that reminds me of like a kid like that has to get up for school but is not the easiest to get going. So the bus might get there at like 7:30, but you're like, I'm gonna have to get them up at 6 so that I can get them moving around and get things done. So that way, by the time 7:30 comes around, I can actually get them on that bus. Like, you can't wait till 7 to wake this person up. You might even have to get them up a little earlier, like 5:30, kind of like maybe need 2 hours to get them going because they move that slowly. But they're also the one, once they start moving, they gradually keep going. Like, you just have to get them up and start them going. They're very slow, but they slowly gain momentum. And by the time it's time for them to get out the door, they're out the door. So this energy is very slow to rise to the occasion. Again, with the Witch, I'm getting you have ample time to make this happen. It's kind of like that's there. So don't feel like you have to like go into a panic, kind of like we need to go. I mean, you're right, something has to get done, but there's ample time here. This energy has been considered already. Like, the energy, this universe is aware of this energy, very, very, very aware of the energy. So it's coming forward, it's moving forward. The Lovers come in with the Hearth. Move slowly and surely. Slowly and surely. You keep going slowly and surely. Keep moving the direction you have to go. I feel like you're kind of like, I just want to fix it. I just want to solve it. But you got to kind of work with this energy. Again, you have a lot of care for this energy because you know what, it's difficult. It needs like less stress. So like, go with it gently as you can. There's time here. Keep reminding yourself there's time here, there's time here, there's time here. Because you're going to get those inklings that something isn't right. But I'm getting with the Hearth and the Lovers. The Lovers sometimes is like passing the test. Like, yes, you're doing what's right. Yes, you're going in the right direction. Yes, it's going to work out. You just got to get you going in that direction. It's just getting you going in that direction, and we'll keep working at it, and we'll keep working at it, and we'll keep working at it. It will work out. You got Wisdom here with the Page of Worlds, I was going to say. The Page of Swords. The Page of Worlds. So this is actually Dawn with the Page of Swords, but I called it Wisdom with the Page of Worlds, I'm noticing. See, it says dawn, but I wouldn't say, like, I don't feel like we're out of the woods here. I don't like that idea of, like, I don't want to give the false impression like we're out of the woods, we're done. And I feel like you're kind of like, you would know. You would know. I feel like you would know anyway. But when I'm feeling this energy, it's kind of like, I got to pay attention to what's happening. The Page of Swords is like, can be very perceptive, but it's kind of like you got to discern fact from fiction. You got to stay with your true feeling. Whenever this moment happens, I really feel like what you want to do is you want to write down exactly what you experienced. Going back to this moment, if you could do it when the moment happens, that's the best, but even if it's afterwards, you want to write down for yourself, like write it down in detail what it was so you can refer back to it and keep going back to it. Refer to what you wrote down. You want to write it down so you can go back and be like, oh, that's right, that I remember that part too. Oh, yeah, that part. I remember that part. Okay, I got to keep on point. I really highly, highly, highly recommend you write that down so you can keep going back to referring to it. It will give you a sense of security, kind of like, oh, that's right, and we're going in the right direction. Okay, good. And you can keep referring back to it like, yep, I remember that part of that experience, and I think we're going, yes, I think this is good. Based on that moment, I feel like it's a psychic moment, I really do. You can go back and keep referencing it. Writing it down makes it so much easier, brings your stress level down dramatically. Also helps you with whoever you're dealing with. Because I feel like you got to discern what's really happening and what's not happening. And referring back to that moment makes that easier. Because I'm getting the Page of Worlds here again with the Wisdom. Kind of like looking at what's really happening and discerning, like, wait, is this going the right direction or not? And there's a bit of warble here, kind of like some worry energy going back and forth. That'll help you keep focused and kind of like, oh wait, that's what I experienced. I think we're on point with that. And it'll bring down your stress level a lot. The Skull of Light with the Seven of Swords. At some point, this person's going to think things are fine and things don't need to go any farther. they're going to kind of like, okay, we achieved enough, let's just stop energy. It's kind of like you're working on getting up this mountain. They get like a quarter of the way up and they're like, I'm good here, I'll just stay here. And you're like, no. You're like, no. No, we didn't come just to get halfway up or a quarter of the way up. We got to get to the top. I feel like they're going to want to ditch, and they're going to when they have the skull of light, they're kind of like, it's ironic to me, but they want to ditch out because they're like, oh, we've made enough progress. This is good enough. They're feeling good enough. That's the skull of light. The thing is, the light is leading them towards where they need to be, and keeping them going is a difficult issue. It does seem like it's a very difficult issue. I feel like you're going to have to keep this person motivated. There's more coming in. Like, at the end, again, you got the veil, the scrying, and you got the Empress. I feel like you're gonna have more. I don't know why. Whatever this situation is, even if you're a person that doesn't usually have intuitive moments or psychic moments, I'm getting it's gonna happen even more. I feel like it's gonna happen again. I feel like it's gonna happen again, and then it's sharing that information with this person again. Because you got like, even though, yeah, I'm getting this, the veil, the scrying, the Empress. You got more information coming in. You're gonna have to share it again about what you're seeing happening next. I think it's gonna catch you off guard. Like, it's not like you're sitting down putting out cards like I just did. It's basically like you're just kind of relaxed, maybe looking out the window, and bam, there it comes in, and you're just like, oh. Again, I highly, highly recommend you write it down if you can, as soon as you can, in as much detail as you can, so you can refer back to it, because that will make it so much easier for you. I'm getting you're going to have to, like, kind of struggle with sharing that with whoever it is you need to share with. It just seems like it just seems like they kind of, like, I don't want to say they're fighting you on it, but they're kind of questioning it constantly. Which is another reason why you want to write it down in as much detail as you can when you experience it, so you can go back and keep referring to it and kind of like, this is what I saw. And like, in case a conversation gets really complicated or like a little confusing, you can go back to like what you wrote and be like, okay, this is what I saw. You can share that. Like, let's just reread what I wrote, because I wrote it in detail like, right after I experienced it. The werewolf is telling me it's kind of like, somebody's fighting with you, like, what's fact, what's fiction, what's fact, what's fantasy. Like, they're fighting back and forth, like, I know you're afraid of that or think that's going to happen, but I think it's just your fears playing on you. I feel like somebody's saying that to you. I think, Scorpio, that's just your fears playing on you. No. You're going to have to fight here, and it's going to be kind of like interpreting it and going back and forth with it. I feel like what it's going to boil down to is, like, it doesn't hurt to be safe. It doesn't hurt to be sure. And I get, like, you are going to win this out with the Six of Wands and the 7. The 6 and the 7. I do feel like you win, but I feel like you're also going to have to keep it motivated. You have to keep on it. Anytime you have these moments I'm getting with, like, any type of psychic information, as soon as you can, write it down on your own in detail as much as you can, the way you experienced it without anybody else telling you anything. In fact, before anybody else tells you anything. So you can keep going back and rereading it and going like, yes, I remember. Oh, yeah, that's right, that part. I almost forgot about that part. It'll make life so much easier for you. I mean, take readings for entertainment purposes only, I know. Take it with a grain of salt. But, I don't know, for those of you this is going to hit with, I'm getting a lot of, like, psychic moments, which I don't remember the last time I did a reading like that. But, there you go. Anything else? Alright, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.